Can you describe your ideal woman?
Smart, can push me intellectually.
Okay, I checked those.
You see that quality?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Somebody beautiful I can go to sleep with, but also appreciate her beauty when I wake up as well.
I'm sorry about the late upload. Life has been lifing, but here we are. And so, what do I think? I am questioning these guys. I think their mothers are just there for decoration and they're just there to humor them because it seems everybody wants to be with a baddie. That's the impression that I get. We saw the same thing with Chad, that he wanted the cutie little girl. And now we have Joshua sort of having a preference for who he would like. And I'm just side-eyeing them because even with Alicia, I don't think Alicia is there for the right reasons. So the audacity for James to think that he's found the one and to spend most of his time with her doesn't make sense. And I can't wait to see what happens. Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, we'll be reviewing Somebody's Son, Season 1, Episode 5. So, it seems this week we have all three guys. It's about time. I'm sorry for the late upload. Anyway, we have James. James is having a conversation with his mom about the photo shoot. And, he's talking about the girl that he wants to go on a date with. We know he's already been on a date with Bre'Von. So, it was only either going to be Sabrina or Alicia. And he chooses to go with Alicia. I think his mom had to humor him. Because I think he was going to throw a fit just like Chad, so she decided to do what was in more or less his best interest is what I'm going to say. What was in his best interest, because it doesn't make sense why she chose Alicia, because Alicia is there for the clout. Alicia is there to be on TV. Alicia is there for followers and to be an influencer. That's the impression that I get. We finally get to see Omar and her nephew Joshua. So Joshua also had his photo shoot with the three girls. We know that there was a bit of kissing there. So I would have wanted him to go with Lexi. I think Lexi is more reserved. Lexi is sort of a better match for him. But the thing that is working against her is the fact that she's got, the two kids. So he goes on a date with Tamaris, I think is her name. And I don't get it. Obviously, you have Chambriel. She's upset because she wanted to go on the date. And it's like, yeah, just because you kissed him doesn't mean you're going to go on the date. It seems Omar doesn't want people who are very presumptuous. This is the same reason she sent Martha home. And instead of, Chambriel learning from that, she's decided to sort of, put herself out there. And I get where Joshua's coming from, that, if I pursue her, this will always be considered as our first kiss. And so maybe it wasn't a good look. I think Tamaris won the ant by refusing a kiss. And I think this is why she was the one who was chosen. So I can't wait to see both dates. So you had Tamaris go on a date with Joshua because she was the first date. And sadly, I don't think this is the show for Tamaris. I'm going to say this. I don't know whether she's just a normally shy person or just being very reserved. I think she would have been better off on a show like Love is Blind, because then she could get to talk to someone in the pods and get to know them first before she came out and she had the cameras and everything in her face. Because at the moment, she really didn't say much that stood out, that made her stand out from the other girls. Yes, they spoke about the case and how she felt about that. They also spoke about love languages, and it's just like, nah, I don't think this is it for her. Because she's saying all the languages are my love language. And it's like, how are they all your love languages? She had to prioritize them, obviously. Acts of service, words of affirmation, and physical touch. But for me, I don't think this is it for her. I think she's in the wrong space. I personally feel like she should have been on a different show. So you have Lexi and Chambriel back at the house. They're busy having conversations and sort of imagining what's going on the date. The producers are messy for putting them in swimming costumes when it was that cold. It really looked very cold, so I don't understand why they had them in a jacuzzi which appeared to be very cold. And they were coming up with these hypotheticals that were sort of driving them insane, in the sense that they were thinking, oh, they might be kissing or they might be doing that. And it's like, I don't think so. I think you both just need to focus on you and do what's in your best interest as an individual. So the girls to go into the house and then sort of plan on how to tag him. I think production told them they're about to come back. We need you to pull either one of them aside and have a conversation. So poor Chambriel, she drew the short stick, so she had to go to Tamaris to have a debrief, and then Lexi went and had a debrief with Joshua. Joshua is slick. Joshua really is slick because of the fact that when, Lexi was trying to ask about the date and she kept cornering him, I think he didn't want to say anything that would hurt her feelings or anything that would turn her off. So he turned around and said to Lexi, you are wasting time. You have this opportunity to get to know me and you are wasting it trying to find out what's happened on my date. Do you think that's in your best interest? And then she realized that, oh, actually, this might be the truth. So they started having conversations, and I really loved it because she asked him, what are you looking for in a partner? And she was also able to articulate what she's looking for in a partner. I think Lexi would have been a better match for Joshua. I'm going to say it. I think Lexi would have been a better match for Joshua. It's sad that she's got 2 kids. I know this is something that was a sort of a red flag or sort of questionable for Omar and Joshua. So I think had she not come in with a package, I think she would have been their number 1 draft pick. That's the impression that I get. You have, Chambriel and so you have Tamaris and Chambriel having a conversation. And I think at that point, Chambriel realized that she had drawn the short straw because at the end of the day, you had Tamaris go on a date with Joshua and get to know him. And then you had Lexi pull him into the kitchen and get to know him, whereas she hadn't had that one-on-one time. So you have James on his date with Alicia. What do I think? I think Alicia is there just for the clout. Alicia is there to be the star, so she's going to do anything and everything to get the attention. Obviously, they spoke about religion, and I didn't quite understand where they left it off at, because you have Alicia saying, are you bothered by someone who is, spiritual rather than religious? And he's saying that, religion is at the core of everything. You have Alicia imply that she shares the same value as him. And it's just like she is saying everything she knows he wants to hear. She is doing everything she knows he wants to see. And so the audacity to make it seem like he's got a stronger connection with her, I think he's impressed that he's got somebody this pretty on, or as one of the 4 that he was, allocated to him. And so the idea that she's giving him the impression that she likes him is something that he himself is starting to think, oh, this might be my person. This is where I'm at, and this is where I'm going to stay. And so they have this date, they have the dinner, and you have, they're in the garden, and you have his mom sitting in the house with the other 2 girls, and it's like, this is not it. This is really not it. It's giving budget air. I don't even know why they decided to do that, because at the end of the day, I don't understand if all the other guys went away somewhere with someone, why didn't the 2 of them go away? We had James go somewhere with Bre'Von, so the idea that he had his meal in the same sort of apartment, in the same area as the girls is telling you that they are working with a budget, and so they're trying to stick to their budget. So you have Bre'Von and Sabrina having a conversation with James's mom. And so James's mom is trying to say to them, I need you to be authentic. I need you to be real. You don't need to fake. If I wasn't here, would you still have behaved the way you're behaving? And Bre'Von says, I think she was honest. I think Sabrina wasn't honest. I think she was right to be honest, because these girls, had the mom not been there, they would have been dressing differently. They would have been behaving differently. There would have been catfights because everybody wants his attention. So the idea that we would want to believe that everybody would still be behaving the same way doesn't make sense. And then in the morning, you suddenly have them in the morning making breakfast. Bre'Von is the last person to turn up. She turns up with her glasses on, and it looks like she was crying. I think she was crying. I think having the first date gave her the impression that, she was his favorite, not realizing that he is saying she's giving him best buds vibes. So it's really sad that this is where they are. They make breakfast, and so well, they're sort of teasing each other, and Bre'Von implies that, oh, my man, and you have James side-eye her, and it's like, is he side-eyeing her because he thinks she's not it for him, or is he side-eyeing her because he's managed to sort of hook someone who he thinks is above him, or something who isn't in his class, someone he didn't expect to catch? Anyway, the breakfast is served. You have Bre'Von and Sabrina go and sit outside with his mum while, Alicia sits indoors with, James. And it's like, they're making it seem as though the girls don't want to spend time with him and they are more interested in his mum. No, production is responsible for allocating people where they said. So the idea that the other girls would prefer to go and sit outside, it's a good strategy to some extent, because if the mother likes you, then she's going to be championing for you. So it's a good strategy in that sense. And it should be an eye-opener for the guy as well, that how are they spending more time with my mom than, me, the person who's looking for the partner. Yes, he had that conversation with Alicia, but I think Alicia is there to win. She's there to live with the guy. And because I think he's very impressed by her, James is going to end up, living with her. However, it won't last. So you have the girls having a conversation with James's mom, and James's mom is telling them that, don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Just be yourself and focus on you, because at the end of the day, the world is going to be very judgmental towards you. So always prioritize you, always put you first, and things will come and go as they do. You have Bre'Von cry because I think she was trying to put on a brave face, but she must have known that she's his number 3. If there was a dumping, she's most likely going to be the one that's dumped. And it's sad because I think she's more genuine than the other 2 girls. I think Alicia's there for clout. With Sabrina, I'm not sure what she's there for. I'm still trying to work it out, but it doesn't make sense. Anyway, I can't wait for the next episode. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 4. Bye guys.